everyone, Jen here from Memory Keeping with Jen. I hope you're doing well. I'm coming to you today with the next episode of my School Days Sunday series. I want to just say quickly that if you don't have school day photos, it's okay to still watch these videos, right? The layouts that I'm doing can be modified for any kind of photos. So the project recipe that I'm going to follow today is actually a travel one, but I'm modifying it to fit the school photos that I have. So if you're like, oh, I don't have any school day photos, I'm not going to watch that. That's certainly not the intent. It's just that's my theme of the photos that I'm doing. And it's important to know and understand that any layout can be modified to fit whatever your theme is. It could be birthday, it could be travel, it could be Christmas, it could be baby. So just because I title it as school days doesn't mean that it's only for school day photos. And I think some folks might shy away from, following along or watching the video because they're not sure how to modify or how to adjust it for their photos. But I just want to clarify that absolutely any layout can be modified to fit your photos. This is just an example of how I create a layout to fit my school photos. So again, today I'm following project recipe 39. This is from the 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipes book that was sent out. This was a special item. I think if you spent $100 or more last fall, I think it was during October of 2024, then you got this book. So it actually took me a little while to find a layout that I liked. I had an idea of what I wanted to do for the border, and I couldn't find the layout that really fit. So I actually have 10 photos that I had planned on using in this layout. And I'm only going to use 8 of the 10, which I'm okay with. I did narrow it down. Some of them were really similar. So I think it's going to be fine. So again, I have 8 photos I'm going to do. So I have 2 sheets of light gray cardstock that I'm going to use. And most of this is Creative Memories. Not all, because I like to mix it up. I have a green and 2 orange sheets from the Bright Delight decorative paper pack from, I think that was last year, 2024 as well. It is double-sided. I really like these suns. I just don't have anything to use them for right now, so I wanted to use the orange, and I don't know that I'm gonna need both sheets. And then my base page, my background is gonna be this. This is not Creative Memories. This I've had, again, I'm gonna probably say 15 or 20 years. It came in a paper pack set with a whole bunch of geometric pages, and I haven't used it. The colors I felt were kind of off, and I just never really had photos that would fit these colors. And then as I was preparing for this layout, I was like, oh, going through, this was literally at the bottom of my blue paper bin. And I came across it and I was like, oh, I had already picked out the orange and the green, and I was looking for something else that went with it. And I saw this, and I saw the orange and the green. It also has like a darker orange, red, and purple, and then the gray. So I was like, the gray is gonna be perfect, the orange, the green. So that's how I came up with these colors. And I also have, of course, my tape runner, my photo trimmer, my 12-inch trimmer, all my supplies. And then the other thing that I did get, I brought over to use today is my Barely Art precision glue, because the border that I'm going to use, the die cuts are kind of thin. I could probably use my mini tape runner, but I have a lot, so I felt it would be a little bit easier to use that today. So I'm going to start with, so I have my background done, and it has a thin or a thicker strip at the bottom. I'm going to use the bottom one is going to be the orange, and then the top I'm going to do is green. So I'm going to cut those ones first. So I see for C and D is what I need for the orange. C and D, so it's 3 inches by 12. So I need 2 3-inch strips of the orange. And I kind of feel like I'm out of practice. I haven't scrapbooked in probably at least over a week. It's been more than a week. I still have my videos up. Obviously, I film my videos in advance of when they're going up, but it's been a really hectic couple of weeks. My son, we're still doing the college tour stuff. We were in Delaware one weekend and then Virginia another weekend, and they're not close by. We're in Connecticut, so the Delaware trip, it took us about 4 hours each way. That was just a one-night trip. But Virginia was, it took us 8.5 hours to get there and then 7.5 hours to get home. When we left on a Friday, so we had a little bit more traffic going than we did coming home on Sunday. So that was a 2-night trip. It was long, but I think we're close to making a decision now on where he's gonna go. So, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited for him, happy for him. Okay, so C and D, I cut those. And then I'm looking up here at the border. So O and P is gonna be the green. That's 1 inch by 12 inches. So I need 2 1-inch strips of this. And I will put this layout on my Facebook page after too. I haven't had many layouts that I've uploaded to there lately, but I will upload this one. And now I'm looking, I'm not sure. So there is another strip down here. This is M and N, and I don't know which page that is. M and N. Oh, it is right here. So it's 2 more green. So there's gonna be green down here too. So I need 2 more 1-inch strips of green. I have my crop coming up next weekend too, my National Scrapbook Day crop. So I won't be filming that day, that weekend. I will have my videos up in advance. But as I was preparing for today's video, I realized I need to have pictures printed. So I'm kind of scrambling like in the back of my head. I have some pictures. I'm still working on my 2011 year in review. I had planned on working on school days during my crop just because I feel like I have a time crunch. I have a deadline to get his school albums done. But I have to just take the time and sit and go through the photos, and I'll have to send them to either CVS or Walgreens to print. I won't have time to get them from Creative Memories or Shutterfly. Unless I switch and I do my year in review. I have to kind of decide. I have to go through my photos and see what's going to be best. I keep all my photos in Shutterfly. And when I want to have them printed somewhere else, I find that it's kind of cumbersome to download them from Shutterfly, then re-upload them somewhere else. But I definitely was not planning well for this, for my crop. Again, just because it's been so busy, and I've been gone. So it's been a little hectic. But I'm curious to know if any of you use, I think it's called Forever, for your photo storage and printing. I've been researching it a little bit more and a little bit more. I think as far as a storage solution, I think it's probably a lot better than what I use now with Shutterfly. But I would love to know if you use it, what your thoughts are. I'm big on folders. I title all my folders. So for example, I have, I'll say for 2014, I have a 2014 events folder. And then I put NP after it, meaning not printed. I haven't printed them yet. So I put either P or NP after every folder. So for example, for 2014, I have one that's just generic events. And in that folder, I put, you know, if there's 2 or 3 photos from a birthday or, you know, a hike that we did or something that's not gonna take up its own album. And then I have 2024 Hilton Head. That's where we went on vacation. I have 2024 boating. I have 2024 Christmas. So the way I work my folders is every folder equates to its own album. So I'm curious to know if Forever has that many, you know, that kind of folder functionality. And then within the folders, can I sort by date? Can I sort by, you know, person? Like what's the sorting like? Because it is very expensive. If you're not familiar with it, it's basically, they say, you know, it's a cloud storage. They'll hold your photos forever. They upgrade their storage. They upgrade their cloud based on the current technology. You can send in your photos if you have hard copy photos, and they will digitize them for you. And it's based on size of your folder. And I want to say the cheapest option is like $300 or $400. And they say, you know, how many estimated photos it will hold. I know in Shutterfly, I have over 20,000 photos in Shutterfly, and the equivalent option for that in Forever is over $1,000. So it's a lot of money to put up front, and you can pay monthly. It's a little bit more expensive to pay monthly. But it's definitely something I'm looking into, but I'm just curious to know if anybody else has used it before. So if you have, please comment down below. Okay, so on with that. Sorry, I kind of went off on a little sidetrack there. So I'm going to, so if you see up here, it has 3 different borders. I don't have 3 different borders because of the type of border that I'm going to use. I'm actually kind of making my own. So I am going to use gray. So I'm doing all my borders before I lay out my photos because I want to see how the border is going to look. And I'm just going to do two very thin wavy lines. And I have to trim my paper first. Sorry, I am not prepared this morning. I forgot my trash bag too. It's still kind of early. I feel like I'm out of my groove. Maybe I just need some more coffee or something. So basically what I'm doing is, in these photos that I have today, it's my son's kindergarten, I'll say little play. I guess it was a play that they did. Play, show, end of year show. And the decorations on the stage were music notes. So I decided I'm going to make a music note border. Now, of course, I do not have the music note border that Creative Memories released a few years ago. No big deal, it's fine. Again, I don't have every single border, nor do I need or want every single border punch that they have. I have a Cricut, so I decided that I was going to figure out making my own. And that's what I did. So I'm going to use this kind of as the string, and then I made a whole bunch of music notes to make it look like they're hanging from the string. And then it'll line up with my photos. And I probably have more than I need, which is okay. I didn't really know how many I was gonna need, so I was just kind of, I think I did 8 of each color, and I have orange, yellow, green, blue. And this one I did not punch out. See the little missed one. So I did obviously prepare these ahead of time. I'm going to set some on the side. I want to make sure I get all the colors represented. Get some pink in here. And this one I just realized is backwards. Don't want that. So again, just laying this all out first, and then I'm going to decide, and then I'll do my photos. Do another green over here. Some more pink. Oops. Again, I'm just kind of guesstimating at the moment where I'm going to put all these. I certainly, like I said, have plenty of them to use. And I want to try to have two of each color here. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. And I have 2, okay, so I have 2 of each color on this little line here. And I definitely have way too many. Don't need all of these. But that's okay. Not a problem. And where's my green? One green and this one. So I think they do need to kind of be spread out a little bit more. This one looks good. That one needs to be spread out a little bit more. But overall, I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to set these extras aside for now. And then I'm going to, I think I'm going to go ahead and adhere down this part of the border. And then I'm going to do my photo mats. Oh shoot, I totally forgot. So the last time I scrapbooked, I broke my tape runner. So it's very wobbly, but it's almost at the end of its life. So I'm hoping to make it to the end to use up, I want to use up the tape that's in there before I switch it out. And I don't know if I'm going to have to replace the case or not. I do have another one with a new case because there is a piece that's broken inside. It broke in 2 places, so I most likely am going to have to replace the case too. And of course, I forgot to grab it before I started scrapbooking. And I'm doing this just because my my shirt tends to, as I'm doing my photo mats, my shirt will get caught and slide it around and it just kind of gets annoying. So I am going to lay this on top of those. I know they'll move. It's okay. So I'm going to start with this one first. I'm just going to trim off the curved part that I don't need. And let's see, I'm doing all 4 photos, so it tells you exactly what size the photo needs to be and what size the photo mat needs to be. So for the photo mats, I need, oh, and let's see, So now I'm thinking, because I see now they have different colors. They actually use 3 different color photo mats. And I think I'm going to use 2 different color photo mats. I think I'm going to do the gray on the bottom, and I'm going to incorporate the orange in the top. So the gray photo mats will be down here, and then I'll put some orange up here, and I think that will kind of pull the orange into that. I'm going to try that and see how it goes. So for now, I'm going to do the 2, let's see, I need 6.5 by 4.5, and then 6 by 4.5 photo mats. And I'm not going to get all of them on this page, that I can already tell. All right, so I have my 6 by 4.5. And what is this? What size do we have here? This is also 4.5, so I need a 6.5 by 4.5, and I don't know, so All right, so I have 1 6.5 by 4.5, and then this is probably 5.5. Yeah, this is 5.5 by 4.5. So I'll set that aside. I have another page ready to go. I'm gonna cut it at the 4.5. And then I'm gonna go with orange, and I need 2 4.5 by 4.5. What size is this right now? Okay. And I'm going to save this. I've talked about it before. I have the bag. I keep the bag that the paper came in. So I will put this in there. I still have some other sheets left in there. So it's a great little border, especially if I'm just doing a one-pager. And I think the layouts that I have next to do are going to be it's going to be a one-page. So that's too small. And then I need 3.5 by 4.5. So when I cut my paper, for example, 3.5 by 4.5, I cut the smaller part off the big sheet. That leaves me more on the big sheet to use for other projects later on. If I had cut this by 4.5 instead of the 3.5, then I would have less on here, and I would still have just as much waste on here. So that's how I do it. I tend to cut the bigger part first, or the smaller part, I mean, from the big. Smaller width from the large sheet. Okay. I have not yet cut my photos. I will do that shortly. I just want to lay everything out for now and see how it's going to go. So that go there and there. Again, those are just kind of sitting there for now. That's gonna go there. Oh, I suddenly was like, okay, which one is going where? That's gonna go there. The larger one is going to be the horizontal or landscape photo. And partly I'm doing this because, see, as I have to slide this up a little bit, I feel like I might have to overlap the music notes onto the photo. And I'm okay with that. Like, I think it will mix it up a little bit. So that was another reason why I did not yet adhere my music notes down. I am gonna do this part though right now. And I am gonna use my mini tape runner on this. And I'm doing it right in the middle. I'm gonna lay it down right in the middle of the book. And this layout, I actually really like these music notes. I have some photos from concerts that I've been to throughout the years. They would be good for that. I definitely have them saved on my Cricut folder now. I don't know that I would use these particular colors for a concert, like a band concert, but okay, there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down my photo mats, because I know this is where they're gonna go. And then I will do my photos. Because not, I would say not all of them need to be cut, but most of them do need to be cut. The larger ones, obviously, this is a 6x4 photo. This photo mat is for a 6x4 photo. And I'm really sorry, I'm just kind of like not able to talk today. Holy cow. I think that's what happens when I take too many days off from scrapbooking. I definitely think that the music notes are going to overlap on this side. And I'm going to adhere those down absolutely last. I'm just lining this up. I'm looking to see on my lines here. So this is, I guess it's 1/3 of an inch. Is it 1/3? Yeah, from the edge. So I wanted it to be the same on this side. That's why I love these mats, because I can see exactly where. So the bottom on this one is at a 1/2 inch, and then the right here, it's about a 1/3 of an inch. And then the same on this side. I can't tell you how many times before I started using these mats, how uneven so many of my pages are. And I didn't really realize it until I went back and started looking at some of them. I guess it's one of those things where, you know, you don't know what you don't know. Looking to see where I have this one at. That's at the 5. So this is going to... The one thing I don't really understand, I mean, I guess it's the way it is. So these cutting mats, on one side, it starts at 1 at the bottom and then goes to, 11, but it's 12 at the top. And on the other side, the 1 starts at the top and then goes down to the bottom. So in this case, I'm looking over here and this is lined up on the 5. Okay, so I know I need the one on this side to be lined up on the 5. But when I go to this side, it's the 7. So I'm like, okay, which one is it? It has to be lined up on the 7. The 7 correlates with the 5. Just, I guess I don't really know why they did it, but whatever. Okay. So I'm laying my photos out now to see where I'm going to put each one. And I think I wanted, yeah, I have them on the wrong side. So I have one picture, obviously, of him walking in, and that's the one I wanted on this side. And then this one's going to go there. And then this one, I wish I could remember what the play was. You see it's got all these music notes hanging. But in the photo, they have different, like, they're holding up like little mask things and with animal faces on them. Like there's elephant, there's a tiger. I don't know what that is. A panda bear. My son is a fox. I don't know what some of these other ones are. I just don't remember what the play actually was, and I wish I did. They were cute. Okay. So that's where I'm going to lay out the photos. And these ones that are going here are not going to be trimmed. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them down. So I do think that the photo mats are kind of big for these photos. I'm just going to double check. Yes. Very strange. They're just big. I guess they're bigger than I'm used to. Usually I feel like there's only about 1/4 of an inch on each side, or less, 1/8 of an inch on each side, and it's just a little bit more, it seems like. Okay, this photo, I need 4 by 5.5. Get my colored pencil. This is already 4, so I'm gonna trim to 5.5. It's all just very, very minor trimming on each of these. I did bring over my photo templates, just in case, my photo trimming guides. I don't really think I'm gonna need them, but I have them here just in case. All right, this photo is gonna be 4 by 3. I'm gonna gladly cut the top of those people off. And I want to cut that person and that. Same thing here. That. And again, so most of these pictures are kind of the same. They're all very, very similar. And then these are 4 by 4. So I'm just trimming to the 4 because they are already 4 tall. They're all very similar photos. The only difference in each one is either his hand gestures or his facial expression. And again, I said I had 10 photos. I'm only doing 8. The others that I had are the same thing, different facial expressions. And so I don't really need them. One of them was like a different angle from the side. But as I was looking at it, I'm like, well, it's kind of hard. It's not front facing his face. It's, you know, looking at it from the side. So I decided to eliminate those photos. Again, I don't have a title for this one. I might do some journaling. I might just put, I might actually do like a small journaling box and kind of put it here. Maybe I'll do like a strip of green or something right here and just do a little journaling box. But if I do that, I'll do that later. I'm not going to do that right now, because my mind is not working enough to come up with what I would want to say. And my tape runner literally just died in my last photo. What are the chances? So I'm going to finish out this photo with my mini tape runner because I did not get out the replacement. Okay. That is mostly done. Now I'm just going to do my my little music notes here. And I have not, again, I haven't scrapbooked in a couple weeks. I haven't used my art, my glue in a little while. Oh, perfect. Okay. So I didn't know if it was going to be a little, I've never had an issue with it clogging until somebody asked me if I had an issue with it clogging. And after that, all of a sudden I was like, really? I use it so often. I think I said before that I make borders, pre-made borders, and I have an Etsy store. So I do put them in I have them in my Etsy store. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put this one there. So during the week, obviously when I'm not scrapbooking, I am often making borders. Either I get an order in for a border that I tend to try to make, when I make them, I'll make several at once so I have them ready to go. But if I run out, then obviously I have to make some more. And depending on what the border is, some of them I use my Cricut and some of them I use Creative Memories punches.
So, and you'll see, like, I'm barely even pushing down on it. That's just kind of how well this glue works. Couple little dots. And what I like about this, and I haven't bought it yet, is obviously it comes in this little 2-ounce bottle, but they have a large refill bottle, so you don't have to buy this small bottle every single time. If you use it a lot, you can buy just the big refill. Better for the environment as well. I'm not a huge, I recycle, I do my part, I do what I can do. I find that sometimes it's difficult to focus everything on the environment, right? Like, one thing that I'm very cognizant of is when I order from Amazon, right? 'Cause it's all about, emissions and electric cars, and I do order from Amazon. I do know people that will not order from Amazon because it affects the environment with the deliveries, but I will schedule my delivery out for whatever the Amazon recommended day is, and it's usually 4 or 5 days out. So for example, I ordered something yesterday and the delivery date is 5 days out. Now in the meantime, I will probably order more stuff, and I will also choose that same delivery date. So instead of Amazon coming to my house every single day, they will come once, sometimes twice a week. Because while I do that, the other people in my family they don't think like that. But recycling, obviously we have a recycling bucket. I do all the recycling. I'm big about making sure we recycle. Even all my scraps, like my cardstock scraps. So the trash that I have next to me is a paper bag, like from the store, from Kohl's or somewhere. And I will put my trash in there, and then my paper trash, and then it goes in our recycling bucket once it's full. All right, and that's it. So I went off on my recycling tangent. I kind of done a lot of talking today on scrapbook related, I suppose. So I hope that was okay. If you followed along, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I like this page. I do want something here. I do need to figure out doing some kind of journaling, some kind of a journaling box. I might have, you know what? I have some leftover from when I made these music notes of this green. So I think maybe I'll make a little strip here and I'll do some journaling. I'll do like a little journaling box here. I will post that. I'll put that in the final photo when I'm done. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this gives you some kind of ideas. And again, this could be used in any kind of a layout. You could do another border up top. It doesn't have to be the music notes. You could just do a regular border there. And it's really more about having, you have your background and you have the 3-inch and then another border and then the border in the top and then your photos. So I definitely think this is a very versatile layout. It works. You don't have to have all 8 photos. Instead of one of these photos, you could do like they did and do a journaling box, right? It doesn't have to all be photos. So that's it. I think that was kind of a quick one. I'm making progress on my school day albums. This, I think I'm going to be going into 1st grade after this. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much and happy scrapbooking. Take care.